Hey guys, Kevin here with Inspiring How You See That. Today we have very exciting up-and-coming artist Matt Sassano, which will be talking with Brian about some of his inspirational stories and things that led him to his music career. Right after this intro. Don't miss it.
Hey everybody, this is Brian with Inspiring How You See That. We're the channel that talks about all different kinds of music and entertainment, and we interview some of your favorite artists. So today we have a very special guest. We have this amazing Christian artist, Matt Sassano, and we have his mom, Janelle Cox, with us today. So thank you guys so much for being with us. How are you feeling today?
Dude, it's been amazing, man. Like the last couple days at KCF has just been an awesome experience. Not only just because of the music, but just because of the artists and like the way that they kind of uplift people.
Sure.
You can totally drive here and like be here and be uplifted the entire time while melting your face off, while sweating, while getting a sunburn. So it's a good combination of encouragement and chaos all at the same time that we love, man.
The 97-degree weather yesterday.
Yeah, dude, I got that little neck sunburn going.
Yeah, my arms. And
Dude, I made it through the set with the sunburn, but like I said, dude, everybody here is super encouraging, and this is my first KCF. So, you know, I've just gotten to know a lot of the artists, a lot of the people, and they all have that common goal of just, you know, music with purpose and inspiring people just like you guys do.
Thank you.
So we're happy to be here.
Absolutely. And so, like Matt said, we're actually at Kingdom Come Festival 2021, and we're here in Indiana. And it's been such a blessing. The weather's been beautiful. The rain has held off, and we thought it was going to be.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
We were praying for it, man, because we saw like, I don't know, we had like a tornado warning yesterday.
Yeah, it was
and
bad.
so we prayed for God to change the weather, and so far, so good.
Absolutely. You see the radar, it's like,
It's like, we're on the farm, we're on the farm.
Yeah, dude, it's been crazy, man.
And Matt, you actually did your set already this morning, and I got to tell you, his set was amazing. I mean, you have more energy than anybody I've ever seen.
It takes endurance, man. It really does. Like, I'll be the guy that was on the treadmill just hauling it before the show. So, yeah, that's become like a habit of mine, is just to like run around, do the tread. That's why I'm like 150 pounds soaking wet. But it does, like, you know, pay off and everything like that. So I'm glad you guys enjoyed it, man.
Absolutely.
Was there any particular moments from the set that you...
Actually, yeah. So and one of the things I want to talk about that we really loved is every song was completely different than what we just heard. So, I mean, you did an Eminem cover.
Yeah.
And then you went, but you mixed it with rock. And it was awesome. And then you just completely changed. And I loved it because it was seamless.
Dude, thank you so much, man. Yeah, I come from a rock background. I grew up listening to all the bands here, Disciple, The Protest, you know, a lot of the great bands that we've had here today. And I kind of came from a rock background, did my journey has been various rock bands, but then just, we got to know how difficult band life can be, you know what I mean? And like just coordinating with all sorts of different people. So about in 2019, I want to say, I was like, how could I flip the script and be a solo artist? And with that came like the merger of different styles and different influences that came into that, you know what I'm saying? So it's still got the rock intensity, but I try to bring it in a different way, and it's so cool.
Nice.
You know, and I'm glad that you liked it, man.
Absolutely. Now, Janelle, has he always been this ball of energy, even when he was little?
Yeah. He thought he was Eminem. Like he said, he's not really joking. And he'd come in with piercings and blonde hair, and I'm like, what are we?
So you were the real Slim Shady.
I was, dude.
His dad's Sunday best socks and made gloves.
I was like a combination of Chester Bennington and Eminem all in one, and I had like arm socks and piercings everywhere and the bleach blonde hair.
I'm like, what
and
are you doing?
Somehow, like I said, I had a girlfriend at that time, single.
No, how this happened?
So, but she never told me that. Like, I just was so shocked.
So he does everything but country. He can do pop, rock, rap. He plays the bass.
So maybe we can make some little country, just completely round you
out.
out.
There we go. Taylor Swifty with them.
Dude, it's been crazy, man. And that's the one thing I enjoy about the music that we do, is because I do a slightly different style, and people I don't think see the energy coming, and then it's like, oh, dude, this guy is insane. He just gets up there with a laptop and some lights and some projectors and like tears it up with the best of them. So I'm just really...
It's a full-on show.
Yeah, that magic trick, it took us a while.
Oh,
we've suffered some major burns, but he got it.
Did you see that when I...
No, I think we were actually coming in like right after that, so I missed that.
Yeah, there's a spot in the show where it says it all goes up in flames, and I have like a little flame shooter.
Okay.
And it burnt my hand a little bit. I feel good, but like...
right now?
It was worth it, but yeah, yep.
That's the price you pay for art.
We're going to change up.
I'll have to hold it out of the shower when I get
There you go. Put some aloe.
Yeah, man.
Now, Matt, one of the things that we wanted to talk to you about is your life actually has taken kind of a different path than most artists. And we talk about, a lot of times people tell all artists, you're not going to make it. You had some extra hurdles.
Exactly.
So if you wouldn't mind both of you kind of talking and telling us, your story.
Yeah, man. I was born with cerebral palsy, and I also have another very rare disability that only 4% of the world has called dyscalculia. And that is a place in space type of disability, and impedes upon my ability to drive. It impedes upon my ability to I can't find my way out of my backyard, man. Like, luckily,
okay.
So, like, there's just all sorts of just different things that this disability affects. And growing up, I wasn't diagnosed until I was 19. So growing up, I'd get lost in school, and I'll let her to also explain some of the struggles that we went through as because she was there for a lot of it.
Yeah, I was there for all of it. But since the moment
even
you're born,
till today.
Even to today.
Yeah.
Actually, Matthew, like I said, it is a place and space thing. It's a mathematics problem.
Okay.
So it's like he sees it backwards, but he sees it in a different form. And so through life, he can't drive. He'll get lost in the house. That's why a lot of times we travel with him, because he really, even though he's great on the stage, he doesn't get lost. But outside of here, he wouldn't know exactly where to go or what to do. And it is only 4% of the world knows that. He was real mad at me at 16 years old. He was really mad at me, and he decided he was going to walk and leave the house. Well, he's never done that before, and so he just took off. And it was about 10 minutes, and I started getting really scared. So I called the police. I'm like, my son's missing. He's like, how old is he? I said, he's 15, almost 16 at the time. They're like, and he's been gone for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You don't understand.
They're like, lady,
he
come on.
Where the cars are coming. He doesn't know where he's at. He was lost for about an hour, and some friends finally brought him home. And told him, he goes, is that where I live? They're like, yeah, Matt, you live there. And he's like, okay, so good. So, and that's been the journey, trying to figure out how to get through this.
So really throughout life, man, it was just a lot of people just saying, you're never going to do this, you're never going to do that. Teachers would just, be concerned. And a lot of times for disabled people as well, man, we feel like lab rats of the education system. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was fortunate enough to develop kind of a sense of humor about it.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, man, when you're going through that and you're in a group of peers, and just being lost all the time, and teachers and everything trying to figure out what was going on because I wasn't diagnosed, it can really impede upon your confidence. And even still to this day, it's like there's certain jobs that I can't attain because of this place in space. And so there's been a lot of failure, but there's been a lot of success in this area. God's really brought me full circle to do what I love to do and to do this thing. And that's why the album that you guys got is called Transcend, because it signifies my transcendence above the disabilities. I mean, I'm still living with them, but it's like, to transcend, to be more,
Absolutely.
In a world where people with disabilities are often discounted and told that they can't do something, man. And that's really my message. And, I have 5 new songs that I'm going to be coming out with in July. Josiah from Disciple is going to be producing those.
Nice.
And so I have a specific song that's going to be coming out dedicated to people with disabilities and kind of what we go through. And I think it's going to be unique and different because there's never been a song from the perspective of somebody that actually has a disability. And oftentimes when you hear disability songs, they're inspirational in a way, but they don't approach the reality of what that might feel like. So it's going to be a unique perspective, and I'm excited.
It's not usually from the perspective of somebody living it.
Inspirational.
Because we can empathize, but we don't know what it feels like.
It's like that day-to-day kind of just feeling lost. And oftentimes, man, my life was honestly getting mad at God. Like, why did you give me this? And why did you do this and everything? And I still struggle every once in a while with depression from it. I'm not going to act like everything's always amazing, but the hope in it all is that, you know, God is there, and
Yep.
that, you know, through him we can transcend. And like the fact that I'm here, the fact that I am here with such great artists that I grew up listening to and took stage with Zahna, like that's really a testament to what God can do with your life, man.
Absolutely. You know, one of the things that I was kind of thinking, just what you touched on, is you actually can be a tangible, real example of all of us are going through life not knowing where we're going.
Absolutely.
And so it's like you know, like you need to rely on people like, hey, I just kind of need some help getting it. We need God. Every single one of us, like, I have no clue where I'm going. And while it's different, you can put that into examples that we can understand.
Yeah, exactly, man. And it's like, you know, I just kind of dove into the impossible with this music thing too. It's like, why don't we take somebody with a disability that can't hold down a job at FedEx, but like, let's just make him into a musician and catapult him here. And it's just like, it's weird to look at sometimes and just see what God has done.
Absolutely.
Man.
And disabilities, you know, the thing about disabilities, especially in the church world, like less than 80% of disability people will not come to church. They don't want to come because one, they stand out, two, there's no seating, or they get lost, or, you know, and a lot of churches have the handicap ability, but then they don't know what to do with them when they're there. Like when we were in ministry, we had autism children that nobody knew how to deal with them in Sunday school, so they didn't want them because they were disruptive. And so Matt's hope is that maybe we can reach those kids through another way. Music always reached Matt.
I want
the
to.
real Slim Shady.
Yeah, man. Music's
in detention.
Music's the first thing.
Well, that real Slim Shady still stand up.
Oh my God, never gonna live it down, man. But yeah, man, like music is like the first thing that ever made me feel empowered, man. Growing up listening to a combination of Christian artists and Eminem and everything else, like the one thing that they always had in common is that they made me feel empowered. And another part of my story that we didn't hit on yet was the fact that like I grew up in a ministry home and a pastor's son, and like I said, there was a lot of abuse that was swept like under the rug for many years. And so I've kind of gotten to see not only what God can do, but kind of the ugly side of sometimes when people, you know, don't have the right intentions. And yeah, it's been a crazy journey, but God has really blessed me, man, and you know, through it all.
Absolutely. And, you know, it's one of those things where you look back and it's like, why did this happen? But then you can look forward and say, you know what, this is the mission I was given. And those blessed words that we all want to hear is, well done, good and faithful servant.
Exactly.
You know, that's what we're all striving for.
That's right. The story's not done.
Exactly.
I used to tell Matthew when you get so depressed, you know, Matt, we get to read the Bible, see the beginning and the end. I don't think Moses thought the water was going to open up. I just don't think that burning bush was really on his mind. And so the story's still being written, you know. We still got to go through it. And we get the pleasure to see the end in the book. But in our lives, we're still living the book.
Absolutely.
So his book is not written yet. He's still making some pages and gray hair.
Now, one of the cool parts of your show, and I don't think you knew it was going to happen. You started singing a song that Zahna did with you, and then all of a sudden Zahna kind of came up behind you on stage.
Totally unrehearsed. Like I was like, so that's my latest song, Enough, and like I had no. I knew she might have been like in the crowd.
You even were like, "Here comes the ghost of."
Yeah, I had the track on, and I was like, "Give it up for Invisible Zahna!" And all of a sudden,
she's visible.
But yeah, man, that was an amazing experience, and that song particularly means a lot to me too because this isn't my first A1M event. Like I was saying at on my show, I was here at Pit Fest in 2020. And I had gotten involved, like, you know, I had a fiance or whatever, and a day before the show, she actually left, like, unannounced. And so, yeah, man, I had to go and power through the show and do that. But again, that's another testament to just strength. And, like, you know, I just knew she was packing up leaving while I was on stage.
And you had to act happy.
And I had to, you know, crying at the merch table. Hey, guys.
I was happy.
But, yeah.
I'm not joking.
But yeah, that's kind of where
I think we all get that.
that was kind of where Enough came from, man. And I was fortunate enough to kind of reach out to Zahna. That song just goes out to people that don't feel like enough in their relationships, that have been through that cycle of toxic and broken relationships, and understand like what it can be like out there in a world where they just don't value longevity. They don't value there's no real common ground, man.
Yeah.
It's just like people are into that instant gratification. You know what I'm saying?
They confuse love with infatuation.
Yes.
True.
And I think that that's the way of our world. So I was fortunate enough to just do that song, and Zahna was cool to feature on it.
Came up, man.
And
That's awesome.
yeah, that's my latest stuff, and I'm really excited to press on in the future and come out with more stuff.
Awesome. So that kind of leads me into what's next for you.
Oh man, well I like I said, I've been trying to. I'm gonna be doing some I'm gonna be doing some studio work with Josiah in July.
Nice.
So I've got 5 new tracks coming, and we're just gonna be releasing them throughout the year slowly and everything. In this climate where everybody kind of consumes music, I'm like, all right, we'll do like one every few months. You know what I mean? And so it's really exciting because, man, I looked up to and listened to Josiah for my entire teen years,
Sure.
and just to be able to, step in the studio with him, and again, the new music also kind of going back to the heart of what it is that I'm about, with whether it's disabilities, whether it's being frustrated at God because of your disabilities and trying to just pray to Him and
Right.
and vent those frustrations, or there's a list of songs that I think that are really just going to touch people's lives and really resonate and relate.
Awesome.
So
That's fantastic. So before we sign off, is there anything that either one of you would like to say to fans?
oh man, thank you guys so much for having me here. Like I said, as a new artist, man, it's just so great to take the stage with a lot of the people that I looked up to, and I am just so privileged and so blessed to be here. If you guys have any other festivals that you hear of, I'd love to be a part of them. And please drop my name, Matt Sassano, and we'd love to come to a festival near you, man. Thank you so much for being a blessing that you guys are, and again, love you guys.
And I'd like to say to parents that have children that they feel at that moment they might be in a psych ward, they might have disabilities, they might just seem to be just a really lost kid, that if you pray and you ask God sincerely to do something with their lives, He will. And don't give up. God never gives up on us, so let's not give up on Him.
That's it.
That's a fantastic message. We want to echo it. So, as always, thank you guys so much for
Thanks,
spending this
man.
time. This is a true blessing. And thank you all. We love you all. God bless, and rock on.
I appreciate you, man.
Can't forget. All these scars remind me when my love turned to regret. Then you put me through it all again.